now we review 2023's Evil Dead Rise. How can you be evil and dead? Don't you have to be evil while you're alive? How does that work? Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, I am Richard. This is Random Street Theater, and I have just chugged one of those weird hippie energy drinks. So hopefully it is waking me up, or at least the nasty of it is waking me up. Why is hippie food so nasty? Why? Anyway, I just saw Evil Dead Rise. And as you know, the premise of the Evil Dead series is there are a number of books that turn people into my sister before she gained the weight. I mean, foul-smelling, destructive, manipulative, and dangerous. Just not, me-sized. So yes. Before I go any further, let me remind you that for every 1,000 subscribers I get, I do purchase one of these bracelets from 4Ocean. 4Ocean then pulls a pound of trash out of the ocean every time I do that. If you'd be so kind as to comment, like, and subscribe, you'd be doing your part for a better world. Now, Evil Dead Rise is a more or less modern Evil Dead movie set in the heart of a fictional Los Angeles that looks a lot more like New York. And this is plausible because New York has been looking, or Los Angeles has been looking a lot more like New York lately with all the rain. So yes, this movie, there are earthquakes and rain, and it all takes place in a condemned apartment building where this music artsy-fartsy person has gotten pregnant and decided she's going to go lay up with her sister for the abortion, I guess. So there's a lot of, family tension going on. And the sister has her 2 kids, daddy's left, and they're all living in an apartment building which is condemned. Which, here is part of the problem, is if this building were actually condemned, and there were people still living in it, it would be full of the homeless at that point. They would smash through a window at some point and be living in there, because this is Los Angeles, and the homeless are everywhere. So that's kind of unrealistic. Alright? But there's a couple people living left in the building. It's got a month left before it gets destroyed. And an earthquake opens the secret bank vault of one of the evil books of the dead that turns people into my sister. I believe this particular book must be opened only with blood. And instead of it being the recordings on magnetic tape, as with the previous movies, they actually have some records pressed this time. Yeah, I mean, very professional priest went out there and 100% pressed a record of him summoning the dead and then fighting off the evil dead and telling people things. There are 3 records that he's created to go along with each book, but he's only got 1 book, which he pulled open that book in the hopes of unleashing demons for the sake of humanity, which there is no such thing as unleashing demons for the sake of humanity in Christendom. In pagan religions, the definition of demon is a little different. It's not necessarily evil. And in D&D, a demon goes by the Latin definition, creature of divine power, whereas there's actually a devil, which is a separate creature, which is by definition evil. So in this case, we're dealing with the Christian paradigm, where it is Christendom as well as the old Druid beliefs, so, like salt circles and stuff, and they've got this book that unleashed demons. So, book gets out and somebody unleashes some demons, gets into the mom, and now we have our movie. Yes. And to be clear on the subject, if you were an Evil Dead person, you like the Evil Dead series, you know this is a series that tends to vary widely in tone. The first movie, in and of itself, varied widely in tone, but was so ridiculously unique that it went down in history. And then, as the movies go on, they go all over the place. I believe Army of Darkness was my favorite film. It's the only one I saw in theaters. It's the one I saw first. I haven't seen it since I was a child. My family did not stop me from seeing horror movies. My dad was actually upset with me that I wouldn't borrow his porno VHS. Anyway, so you've got all the things that you would expect from an Evil Dead movie. You've got disgusting, rotting people saying evil, weird things, and corpse mutilation and blood splattering, a shotgun, a chainsaw, and weird things in another language. All of these things, it's like if there is a recipe for an Evil Dead movie, this has all the components. Like if you just take a big bowl and you pour in chainsaws and shotguns and evil malevolent ghosts and spirits and, weird stuff like that, and you mix it all together, there you have the batter for your Evil Dead movie. And instead of this being poured into a cabin in the woods, it's poured into a apartment building. So that's the difference. Now, again, if you're a film snob, and I'm technically a film snob, you might say this movie is a little paint by the numbers. But we came here to see an Evil Dead movie, and that's what this is. I'm not really expecting good internal logic. Like, the demons here. How do they get into people? In typical fashion, demons need to screw with you for a while first to weaken your mind before they can take you over. But in this one, they just, they do. That's it. And apparently, if some of their goo gets on you, you get demonized too. And yeah. And then you're really hard to kill. So anyway, yeah. Evil Dead Rise, it belongs about the middle of your watch list. If you're a horror fan and you love horror movies, you have to watch this movie. Okay, you know that. I'm not talking to horror fans who already love this kind of thing. I'm talking to the average moviegoer. Hey, you go in there, it's a gusher film, a splatter film, you're going to have fun. So long as you go in there knowing that. Don't take grandma, don't take your 7-year-old. But look, some people are saying this film is scary. I disagree. I disagree because I've been in a room with my sister after she's had Taco Bell, and that is scary. She will melt brass with that. But this film, okay, it's evil instead, it's trying to kill you. It's my sister when she's not having Taco Bell. That's nothing weird. There's nothing scary. Anyway, just my opinion. Love to hear yours. Comments below. I'm Richard. Randall the Rat here once again. And I'm here to remind you humans to comment, like, and subscribe. And you know why? Well, have you watched the news? Mother Nature is pissed! And we can help. Because each one of these necklaces I'm wearing, it's a medal from the Conqueror. And in addition to being awesome bling, each one of them represents 5 trees. 5 glorious trees that the owner of this channel has had planted. I'm wearing 5 of these, so I've got 25 trees around my neck. 25 of the more than 100 that have been planted so far. So if you want to do your part to unpiss off Mother Nature, listen to old Randall here and comment, like, and subscribe. Or, of course, I could just eat your face and make there be less humans to pollute the environment. Global warming sucks, and you're delicious.